What is up, YouTube fam? Robbie C here. When you guys are watching this, I am playing my first sanctioned event in just Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. In just 4 days. First sanctioned event back, and we're still trying to get the bag just a little dialed in. At the time I'm filming this, I got 2 weeks out, but like I said, 4 days from now, y'all are watching it. And the comments have said this is the most underrated mold in the entire MVP lineup, and I'm excited to try out the Servo. So we're gonna ask, Eric, how are you doing today? Are you having a good one?
So catch me if I fall.
Now, we're gonna be throwing the Servo along with some other molds in comparison. I actually posted these on my Instagram the day I was going out to film them. So if you're not following me, we actually make content over on there as well. It is located right here, Robbie C Disc Golf, on Instagram. And technically we're on TikTok too, but I don't really post there that often. I'm gonna be honest, I just wanted to make sure that I had my name there. And let me tell you that I find myself in a bit of a conundrum, especially heading into tournament season, because I feel very good about my distance drivers. I feel very good about my putters. Honestly, I feel pretty electric about my mids. And there are two major problems that I'm having to deal with when it comes to the fairway slots, specifically kind of the middle. The edges I have figured out, but that middle section, which could be my proper workhorse, especially here in Birmingham, where we don't really have that long of courses, I'm throwing a lot of fairways, it's just real tough. If you saw my in the bag a couple of weeks ago, they'll kind of like showcase the fairway slot. And so on one side we have the Z Sting on the super understable side, and then we have a ESP Stalker, we have another ESP Stalker, and then we have a Vela by Millennium Disc, and then we have Felon, and then up top above them we have the Passion that kind of sits in the middle. And so as I'm trying to figure these out, I really love the Stalker and I've been excited to throw it, except for Discraft made an announcement that they are definitely discontinuing the Z Stalker, but I've also heard that they're discontinuing the ESP Stalker. And as a content creator, I'm trying to decide, do I want to throw a disc that I really love, or is there a beauty in, hey, if I'm going to be talking about this disc and recommending this disc and showcasing this disc, do I want to recommend something that y'all aren't able to go get? Not even from a standpoint of like, oh, they could buy it to support me. Just truly from I feel like it feels like taunting like a kid with candy or something, like, oh, look at this treat that I'm enjoying and you can't get it. So I want to make sure that, like, if I'm going to be throwing something on a regular basis, that hopefully it's something that you guys have access to, so that if it looks intriguing to you, you can go out and try it. Now, we're going to be playing several holes of disc golf, so I'll talk about more of the problems there, but let me lay out the concept for you. We currently have Stalkers in the bag, and Discraft is making it very clear they are not invested in the Stalker. I've got my fingers crossed that like DGA decides to pick it up, but we'll see. I also know that another beauty of the Stalker is that with Discraft especially, that Ledgestone exists, and Ledgestone loves to do out of production molds and bring them in and get a fold. So I know that probably every other year the Stalker is going to get rerun in some special plastic during that, so it will still be available to folks. And there are a ton of Stalkers out there and available. So I'm not too worried about the availability of the Stalker, but because they're invested in the Passion, and the Stalker and the Passion fly very similar, especially depending on what stages of wear and tear you find them in. The difference is the Passion to me just goes a little farther. Could I take some off of the Passion? So today I have a pink Stalker that's in my bag currently, and then I also have this ESP Robbie C Owl stamp, the Key Owl stamp Stalker that is, yeah, ESP Swirl. This isn't a Stalker, sorry, ESP Passion. And then I brought along the most stable Passion that I've ever thrown, which is this ESP Ledgestone. It's a ESP Sparkle Glow. So I have these three, and I want to compare them alongside a 1, 2, 3 shot that maybe all this Discraft comes out of my bag, and we'll see how it goes, because we've got 3 contenders. The first being probably one of the more popular discs in the MVP lineup, which is, or I guess Axiom lineup, which is the Crave. And then this is the disc that when I talked about this on the podcast in the bag, in this slot that I'm trying to find, straight with some guaranteed fade at the end, everyone kept talking about the Servo. So Foundation just got a restock of these and they hooked it up. So I've got 2 Servos in the bag. So we're gonna be doing a little battle that's gonna be the Crave and Servo versus Stalkers and Passion. It's a little gyro versus Discraft, and we're gonna see how they feel Does one call my name over the other? What shot options do I have? And talk through it. So let's dive into hole one, shall we? We're gonna throw the passions first, just because, like I said, I know them, so I'm gonna be able to get some like familiarity with how I'm throwing today. We're gonna play like a mishmash of baskets. I'm not gonna necessarily say like, oh, we're just playing longs, but we're throwing fairway drivers, so if we have length to throw, we're gonna be able to do that. Yeah, playing two, like I said, yellow basket. We're gonna throw all four here off the first, just get loose. See what we can do. Try to put a little bit of turn on these and see if they fight out. Okay. That's ESP passion. So once it gets turning, it's really hard for it to come out, which is nice. I like that we're getting that kind of flight. The sparkle glow should have a little more bite to it. Okay, we didn't really put any anhyzer on that one, got afraid, but she got all the way out there. Okay, Servo, 6.5 speed, 5 glide, -1.2 are the flight numbers on here. Both 172 grams. So let's see how purple flies, see what she can do. Okay. Very similar to the ESP passion, just right over there. So okay, that was a bad throw, but good tree because that was going nowhere. So very similar in flight. Let's talk more. I also meant to say that we're going to be playing from the best lie each time, and we're putting with Birdie Balloon Wizard. Like I said, we're in tournament prep mode, so want to get as many reps in with these putters as we can. Fine. Did it roll between the rocks or did it hit the rock? Coming up next, we have the Stalker versus the Crave. This is a super interesting matchup because the Stalker comes in at 7.5 -1.2, but anyone that's thrown the Stalker for any amount of time would tell you like that's definitely not what the natural flight numbers are of the Stalker. It's probably closer to like a 7.5 -1.1. When she gets turned in, once they get flippy, they don't really have too much fade. The Crave, I have one in fission plastic, and so it is 6.5 -1.1. So I thought this would be a fun comparison. I usually don't throw gyro past mids, but the Crave is really loved. We're playing to that yellow basket that's out there. So 338 feet. Let's see if we can't yam on these, get them down there and get cooking. That's gonna be around the tree, easy peasy. And there's that Crave. Now, to be fair, the Crave is brand new. Like I think I've thrown it like maybe 3 or 4 times. That Stalker, I've thrown quite a bit more. It's hit more trees. It's gonna be a little unfair in that comparison. I tried to go with the more stable Stalker that I have in my bag for this comparison. Just inside circle for both of them. Actually, probably closer to, fortunately we gotta go like a little up and around, so I'm gonna try to leave it high and just let it drop in. Yeah. Nah, dude. I'm just not reading. You can see there, even when I threw that, there's like enough wind coming off of here. I'm just not reading it right. I was starting to get my like wizards dialed in terms of like feeling the distances out on them and like being able to ride the wind, but these are beautifully stiff. So it's just a little bit different. So it's like, how much pop can I give them before they do squirrely things? But 2 pars here, we're not too upset by it. All right, here we go. Super interesting one, 362 feet. We've got, if you actually go down and through this tree gap right here, see the yellow basket chilling over there. One thing that I really enjoy using my Stalkers for is I can throw them on an easy forehand and they stand up and they ride really straight. If I hit cotton candy from in the bag too much, then it's gonna roll over, and that's fine. So I'm gonna be very curious. We have a tailwind coming with us, so hopefully that extra stability, we'll see if we can throw this up on a forehand and not find our way into the road, ideally. Perfect, perfect. A little 25 footer, we're right down there by the basket. See how Crave does. That one we gave way more height to. but they're right down there next to each other. It's gonna be tough when it comes down to this, like in terms of like a raw putt off, just because it's like, okay, are we putting better for one or the other? But the flight wise, pretty similar. All right, Stalker, being a Stalker, it's parked right there, which feels good. The Crave, I don't think I threw the Crave as well. And part of that is because being not that familiar with it, I was like, I don't know how much juice I can give this thing. But you know what I can't give juice? Dennis right here. I like it. The putt is coming out of my hand so clean. Like I'm telling you guys, so many people, we just get too fixated on the result of the putt, and it's like, nah, dude, just trust it. Discraft currently has the box. We're going to the silver basket that's off to the left. The play is you can either go like bullet right low at it, or you can go high. I'm gonna try the high line and just see what we can make happen. Hopefully that got off the sidewalk. I don't think it did, which is gonna put Discraft back. Let's see what the Servo does. Okay, Servo's gonna be in bounds. It should be an easy 3 for the Servo. Could be tough. Look for the passion. Servo in bounds, so we get this close. It's gonna be nice and easy. Bank, okay. Ooh. That is a tough look for that passion. Not trying to get any, called out for cheating. My friend Josh's daughters made this mini for me. Is that not the most precious thing you've ever seen? All right, Dennis. Let's see if we can make a putt from range. Telling you, dude. Even when they miss, they're all over the basket, which is fantastic. 410 feet into the pin, and this is, I mean, for lots of people, they come out here, this is their like driving range hole. We had Simon Lizotte come out here. This is 410 feet to the short basket. And Simon came out for like an expo or like a distance thing in like 2015, something like that. And so what he ended up doing is he actually played from between the short basket here and the long baskets that are behind it. He threw from back there all the way down this fairway and then flexed one out into hole 7's fairway over there. That man be do throwing far. All right, Gyro has the box. Let's see what we can do. The trick is to not try to feel like we're just trying to murder these things. We're just gonna throw it nice and controlled and see what we can do. A lot of you were asking me to release. We didn't hit that one well at all. That was mediocre at best. All right, let's see these servos. Okay. Well, we hit that one a lot harder, a lot better. We hit it with more power, I should say. It was not better. Last servo, let's see what we got. Thankfully, it's up there. That one's gonna be the closest shot. We'll do the same sort of pattern. We'll go Stalker first. Okay, a little bit of wind out there that's tossing these things around. Let's go ESP Passion. Okay, that was an absolute bomb. That felt so good. And then Sparkle Passion. You can definitely see the stability difference between the two passions there. Just even the one got up and moving real fast. Still came back, which is nice. It's not bad, guys. It's not bad. This thing goes far. Hit the base. Ooh. It accomplished what I wanted it to. I said hit the base. The real star of the show here, I mean, we are right next to the walking path for those of you who are George Ward locals. So we are like 45 to 50 tops. Yeah, tops 50. This feels phenomenal. Okay, here we go. This is gonna be tough to beat, guys. So the tricky part here is that there is a hole off to the right. And while I love that one Stalker, it's a hard question because if the the passions are gonna have that much like room and stuff. I almost want to see, can I throw a similar shot if we go passion servo? Can I recreate we did on hole 3 with that like straight and a little bit of stand up? Basket's off to the right. I think we're gonna end up going with that one instead of the silver one that's straight because it's just gonna be really hard to see it. So gyro still got the box. So here we go. I mean, that's such easy flip, dude. Here's the thing about the servo is I don't think the servo and the passion, I think that the servo is getting an unfair comparison because I think that the servo just might be Discrafts or might be MVP's Stalker because it's saying -1.2 and I think it's much closer to a -1.1. Like it's flying so similar to that Crave, like right there, like I hit it. It's a great disc. I just know that the slot that I'm wanting to fit it in, or like that I initially started this video thinking it was gonna fit into, I'm not sure that it's that guy. That's definitely not coming back. Because these are the two that we have the most in question, thankfully, we have backups. Okay, still pulled that one. Passion. Yeah, even the overstable one still stands up a little bit, which is nice. Gosh, this is tough, guys. We gave both a chance to be thrown again. We're gonna go scuba down the hill. And I knew that even as someone who doesn't throw scoobers very well because it's so downhill, and she do be throwing fast. Red servo was pretty dang close to like, it was a perfect between both. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I feel like if you're at this point in the video, my mind's somewhat made up. I've got one more shot, like one more big. I wanna see if I put them intentionally on turn, how much turn do they stay in? So we'll throw all 6 on the next hole, but let's just not, maybe, let's give, see, that's negative thoughts. That's negative thoughts. So you reset. Here we are. Yellow basket off to the right, 341 feet. Let's see if we can get there on a pure turnover the whole time. Nope. We did not commit. Okay, that's the hard thing I'm having with my form right now. Something has changed in how I was throwing off the first tee to where I'm throwing right now. I'm suddenly just losing power and these aren't even turning. There it is. Okay, that's a pretty good shot. Servo stayed in it the whole time. Okay, that one we burned over. Let's see what the Stalker does. It's low. It's low. I liked it. We just gotta give it some height, give it a chance. Okay, commit, but also give it height. Okay, that felt really good. And this one should have the best chance of fighting out of it. We've seen that the Servo, the Passion, and the Stalker all hold into it when hit well, which is nice. None of them, unless I'm burning it over, are burning over. And I think that's an important distinction to make is there's a difference when I yank it and I pull it all the way down and it does that flight, as opposed to actually hitting it well. I like that. That one you could tell definitely had the most stability out of it. The Servos went over and they were cooking that way. Like they were moving that way really fast. The Passion, the first Passion, the ESP Passion, did the same thing. Like it was moving that way and it really didn't have any inclination of like wanting to fight out. Now it's time to head over to Mr. Servo. I actually don't think I can normal putt. Like I think that I have found just enough limbs. I'll give it a chance. Yeah, that gyro push just went a little too far, got us into trouble. All right, so let's talk our options here as we close the video out. Birdie Blend putter. Took us a little bit at the beginning of the video to turn her on, but I mean, you know, this thing's a beauty. Restock hopefully coming sooner rather than later. So let's talk gyro because unfortunately gyro's not gonna make it in. And let me tell you why. The Crave, great disc. It's not doing anything my Stalker can't do. And it's just, fantastic Frisbee. It can do a lot. But I'm already so comfortable with other discs. I think if you look and see, like, in just comparison, every time I was throwing it today, I throw the Stalker better, and so I think that it pushes it out for that. Now, I will say, I do like the Servo more than I like the Crave, and at least for me, these Neutron Servos flew almost identical to the Craves. It just did everything better. So like it had a little more turn than the Crave, but it also had a little more fight at the end than the Crave does. So if I were choosing to bag either of them, it would definitely be the Servos over the Crave. I think the Servo is incredible. What I'm probably gonna end up doing is I'll probably hold on to the purple one so that I have a Servo in my collection because I didn't have one before in case someone wants to try it later and things like that. And then I'll probably end up giving this one away over on the Birdie fam. If you've not liked the Crave in the past, but you want to try gyro, I would check out the Servo. If you're looking for just something that does a lot, Servo does a really good job there. I think the Stalkers, I don't think are going anywhere. The big question mark that I think I'm gonna hold on to the most is I know how a Stalker's beating in. So does the Stalker do enough to push out? Like, I'm very familiar with the range of the Stalker. I've not thrown a Passion long enough to beat one in. So can a Passion get as flippy as a Stalker does? And if that's the case, then I might be pulling the Stalkers out of the bag. I'm so conflicted. More thoughts the merrier. Please let me know in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed this challenge. I'm sorry to the Gyro Nation if I offended you with my choice. I really do think that the Servo is pretty sneaky good and people should check it out. So I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope you have a great rest of your one. Please make it fantastic for someone else too. And get ready for Thursday because we're going back to Keep 1000 at a new course. Yeah, but in the meantime, we'll see you later. But for now, we're going to leave you with the birdie.